on EA Sports, and we've got a duel in the Lone Star State. It's the Steelers and the boys, and it comes your way next.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Dallas Cowboys. Charles and I have been looking forward to this one all week, and we are underway from AT&T Stadium. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. At a glance here at their quarterback, standing 6'3".
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section, where the columnists write possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
And they are not going to let him turn the corner. Some serious pressure right out of the gate. It's a loss of 4 on that first play, and it's second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now this throw caught left side.
They should put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This will be a critical call.
The Steelers send out their punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So out come the Cowboys under head coach Mike McCarthy. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. They'll throw on 1st down with Aikman. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Well, they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now it's Aikman. Pass incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Aikman. He finds his man, complete. That's Harper. Only 2 yards, and it'll be a punt on their opening possession.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was. the down and distance and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up fourth down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3-and-out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
They'll start the drive with Harris. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure you're back. You spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside.
Oh, my God.
And the Cowboys here on 3rd down, bringing in an extra defensive back. Back to throw. Bradshaw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he will have a Steelers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, we use the term pitch and catch a lot to denote an easy completion. We just saw one right there on 3rd and 3 to pick up the 1st down.
Why are those so tough to defend? Just because they hit so quickly?
Yeah, it's all about timing and confidence. Quarterback sees it, rips it, there you go.
On 1st and 10, Bradshaw. That's caught. It's Cunningham. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Operating from the gun, Bradshaw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Bell. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful of one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. They'll contain him to just 4, 2nd down.
If you run an out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Seventh play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Looking to throw. Bradshaw. Throw left side complete. That's Cunningham. And they'll rally and stop him short of the first down at about the 6. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, the coverage was tight that time. They allowed the pass underneath to him, but they rallied to him pretty fast too. Converged on him and got him down. That'll bring up 4th down.
Now a field goal forthcoming for the Steelers. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And his kick is good. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Now, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands and maybe the offensive move a little bit.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
For the right play, yeah.
That too.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they've got it with a 2nd and 1 coming up. Now Aikman looking to throw. Incomplete.
No receivers open downfield, so instead of forcing the ball inside line, he's going to throw this one down to Fort Worth. He'd rather have the incompletion than the turnover.
They tried the throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Smith. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that 1st. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Aikman will throw. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
And this came from the interior of the defensive line. And these guys, they're normally anchors of that spot. And they don't often get clear shots at the quarterback. But in this case, he got past the center and the guard in no time and got there to make the play.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
A pair of first downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44. They go back to the ground now with Smith. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Here's a give to Smith. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. They end up getting stuck twice after that 9-yard gain back on first down.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And there's a work of art right there. Out of bounds at the 2-yard line. They decide against going for it on 4th and 1, maybe to the dismay of their offense, but hey, a nice consolation prize down inside the 5.
Nice consolation prize indeed. So maybe the offense is upset, but they showed confidence in their defense by punting it away.
Let's go.
Starts the drive on the ground. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line.
Let's go, baby.
Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw. Bradshaw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line.
Good call there on first down. And, Brandon, I'm getting better over the years of not screaming out screen, screen, screen with my defensive training. They want to keep those pass rushers honest. and they did so there, and they wind up picking up positive yardage.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Looking to throw on second down. Bradshaw. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
On 3rd and 2, Bradshaw. Open man there is Swann, complete. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Back to throw again. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Again, he'll drop to throw. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
I usually hesitate when I say a guy's got world-class speed, but this guy might. So let's fire the starter's pistol. Let's go. If you've got him, you've got to try and use him. A lot of anticipation with the ball in the air, but no, incomplete.
And that is no good. Oh, he missed it just wide of the upright, and this score will stay right where it is. The long-distance shot before break comes up empty, but now Charles flipped the script. Time for likely one more play as field position becomes an issue.
Yeah, when you talk about field position, remember, if this kick is missed, the ball comes back to where? The spot that they snapped it from. So field position becomes a factor. I think at this spot, you might also want to think about throwing the Hail Mary. You know, put the ball up in the air. Maybe you can get 6 out of it instead of 3.
Yeah, see what happens. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. And they say officially it's a 68-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. So that would have been something from that distance, but to no avail. Comes up empty. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this 3rd quarter in what's been a tight contest so far.
These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And they're on the losing end of things here. What do they need to do if they're going to turn things around, CD?
Partner, it's awfully close to being a must drive here, I think, for them, because I think a touchdown here in this opening drive is something they absolutely have to have. They only managed 3 points in the first half. They know that's not going to get it done. So without adding pressure to them, they already know the stakes. They need a touchdown here to get things started.
Second half begins with a run by Smith. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Here's second and a yard.
Come on, QB, come on. Mike's 50, Mike's 50.
They'll run it again with Smith. And they'll get him down here at the 23.
I have to think a major focus at a halftime Minks had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
A first down carry for Smith. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's second and 7. Now it's Smith running right. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
A couple of extra defensive backs in the ball game here on 3rd and 6. Here's Aikman setting to throw it. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. To throw is Aikman. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll set up a throw. Escaping the pressure right. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. Out of the gun, it's Aikman. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on here to punt it away. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
They turn to Harris to begin the drive. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
2nd down and 7.
They'll run again with Harris. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. Off the play fake, Bradshaw.
He's got it to Swann, complete.
And finally, he is out of bounds, but not before taking it down near the 15. A big play that time for Pittsburgh.
And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we could at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
Yeah, and this is absolutely a defensive coordinator's worst nightmare as well because they spend all week preaching about the need to wrap up and make sure tackles. But what a letdown here, and it winds up costing them big yardage.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
A good action to this point in the 3rd quarter, just a 3-point game, 2nd and 10.
To throw again, Bradshaw. Dancing to his left. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
To throw on 3rd down, Bradshaw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
Now a field goal forthcoming for the Steelers. And his kick here is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3.
So it was a 3-point lead at halftime, and they double that with a field goal here.
And I think defensively, you've got to be okay with that because you've kept this game within a touchdown. Your hope is that you've inspired your offense to put a drive together, get in the end zone themselves, and hopefully get you the lead.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Possession of the football going back to the Cowboys. And, Charles, we've seen almost 3 full quarters now, and neither offense can really get it going. Neither has hit the end zone, and neither side seemingly can make that big play.
But the game hasn't been devoid of action because these two defenses, they've taken over and they've slugged it out. But I think you're exactly right. We're at that stage of the game now where one of these offenses, if they make a big play, that could be the difference.
Looking to pass, Aikman on first down. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Second and 6, just inside the 30. A give to Smith out of the gun. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with this third down play as we played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Arlington. It's the Cowboys in possession of the football, but they trail here as we begin the fourth quarter of play. The Cowboys on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A handoff to Smith. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Let's go, Mike 50, Mike 50.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And this one nearly intercepted. Boy, that would have been a great time for their first pick. But instead, it's 3rd down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 9. He finds his man, complete. That's Harper. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. He'll look to throw. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
We've got to give out a little applause on that play. It has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. On the draw, this is Smith, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the fourth quarter. Just rely more on the passing attack.
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field downfield.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. Pittsburgh offense making their way back out. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides. And there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker.
Let's go, big series, baby.
And not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside, as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. And this won't be enough. A good secure tackle, and they stop him a few yards shy at the 46.
He wasn't ready.
The Steelers send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
He'll look to throw. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Well, these corners, I tell you, they've done excellent work all game long.
They remind me of guys in the past who just said, hey, throw it out here 100 times. Nothing good is going to happen. And if you throw it in the wrong place, I'll take it the other way.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. He's back to throw. Well, it's caught on the right side at Smith. A nice move gets him a few extra. Down just shy of his 20. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. An incompletion, now a short pickup. That's not going to do it.
Yeah, you got to get to the line of scrimmage quickly, get set up, and aim downfield.
They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. He's got a man complete. And all the way down to the 39. A big play here for Dallas. Charles, just a gigantic play right there.
Absolute breakdown defensively, but take no credit away. A huge gain, and that turns things around.
1st down now, but the clock continues to move. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens in bounds.
2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. He finds his man complete. That's Harper. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
It didn't check off every box, but the most important one. Got the clock stopped, getting out of bounds. They may be a little short of the 1st down, but I thought that was the key.
They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a 1st here on 3rd down. Back to throw. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Too many zeros on the stat sheet thus far. No touchdown passes, no points for his team, but he remains undaunted. Still attempting to get his team on the scoreboard, firing the ball downfield.
So down 6, and they know they need this one on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Aikman. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. Well, certainly not the way that they were hoping that possession would end, failing to convert on 4th.
And now they've got to make sure that they keep their poise, they keep their confidence. Just because it didn't work once doesn't mean if they get that same situation later that they shouldn't go for it again. The defense feels great, but the offense, they can't be despondent.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And the knee is taken for the Steelers out of the victory formation. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter.
Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it.
Brandon, I can just tell you from experience, there's nothing like pitching a shutout on defense, but even more so when it's a tight game. I mean, when every defensive play is crucial and you don't give up any points, boy, they're going to feel awfully good about themselves after this one.
Yeah, exactly. The offense wasn't humming, but, hey, all they needed was you can't score 1 point. All they needed was 2 points. Well, you can't score 2 points on offense. All they needed was at least 3, and they got what they needed.
They got what they needed. Exactly right.
So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And not all W's are created equal, CD, and this one came in shutout fashion.
Well, their offense certainly didn't need to do anything, right? They could take the day off, and they did. But the defense, they carried them in a big way.
Yeah, look, the offense, obviously stuff to work on, but they did enough, and the defense carried the load.
Well, you know what they say. It's always fun to work on things if it didn't go well in your game with a victory in your pocket, and that's what they've got going forward.